Hello, everyone. Welcome to Economics. We're back. It's another week. It's another show. Brian's just in from shoveling his driveway. Got a nice haircut during this past week, although the barber just stopped at his hair. Didn't go all the way down, and unfortunately didn't get rid of that weird beard he's got going on.
The beard will be going away. You can put a little timer on this. We
Countdown?
are on February.
Countdown to
no beard.
the no beard. We're gonna call it no beard.
1, 2,
No beard Tuesday.
3 weeks from today. March 21st. I will be clean shaven.
Wow.
Yes. So I love this beard. It's been fun growing it. I've been having a ball with it.
I've requested to Brian that when he gets home, that he videotapes on his phone his arrival into the house and his wife seeing his bald face for the first time in probably about 15 years.
No, I've completely shaved in the last 15 years.
I mean, you look like a 15-year-old, so that'd be the one thing.
I'm going to de-age. I'm going to de-age.
You are.
A lot.
You do, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, Mark, we should, before we get into how this weekend went, we should, on the top of this, we really want to help promote
how this weekend's going to go.
Our buddies Andrew show, the Manchester Comic and Toy Convention, this Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission's $5. Kids 10 and under are free. Yes. It's going to be held at the Army and Navy Club at 1090 Main Street, Manchester, Connecticut. You're going to have toys, comics, collectibles, and cosplay contest.
Yes.
Which is very popular.
And, Matt Ryan's going to be there. A bunch of other artists are going to be there as well. Matt Ryan, I believe, is doing free caricatures for everybody.
Ooh.
So
nice.
Come down and check that out. He will also have book 1 of Brenda, and he'll have Backerboard Blitz will be doing as well. I'll be there helping him out since he'll be doing all that stuff for Andrew for the show, so he'll be busy. But yeah, come on down, check it out. There's a lot of fun stuff. I was talking with Andrew on Sunday at the East River Comics and Collectibles show, and he is very excited about it. He's got some big plans in the works for future shows, so get in now to get yourself accustomed to what's going to be coming.
Yeah,
a lot of fun stuff coming. A lot of fun things might be happening.
I want to just tell people, if you've gone to the East of the River and you're like, well, I just went to the East of the River, why do I need to go to another show? I want to tell you,
whole different animal.
It's a very different beast. It's way more toys and retro stuff. Okay. Yes. Which it's East of the River, mostly comics. This
vintage toys.
Vintage toys, a lot of vintage
stuff. A lot of Hot Wheels.
Just going to look around.
A lot of card vendors, different stuff than what you would see at the usual stuff that we promote usually. So
also, I want to say Main Street has got some great eateries, and it's got a great coffee shop, and it's got a great breakfast place.
Yeah, so, a little pizza shop down the road there too.
You go early, you can get a breakfast, a nice breakfast place. There's a nice coffee place and pottery place where I love their coffee. Then you can go across the street, visit us, have a great time, then go to a pizza place for dinner. Or a late lunch.
For lunch.
It's all there. Day. It's a great day.
Fun stop shop. Spend the day in Manchester.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Just go to the mall. Check out other parts of Manchester. There's a whole town.
No, don't go to the mall. You go to the mom and pop place.
Yeah, go to this place. Go here instead.
It's a great time. Okay, now let's talk about this past Sunday. What a turnaround.
This Sunday, the Manchester Toys and Collectibles Show. Where is it located again?
I just said it.
Why not? Say it again.
All right. Army and Navy Club at 1090 Main Street, Manchester, Connecticut.
Now, here's the trick. I'm going to throw everyone a little trick when you get there. The Army Navy Club, you're going to turn on the street. Army Navy Club is going to be on your left-hand side. On the right-hand side is a parking lot. That's where you park, just so you know.
Oh, the parking's great there. There's a huge parking lot right there.
Yeah.
Parking's perfect.
Yeah.
So I want to say this past Sunday, Mark, what a turnaround from our October show. This show, people came out and it was mobs
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of these shows this busy since the very first February we came back from COVID.
Yeah. It was slammed.
It was slammed. The early bird, no joke, was packed, which I never see. And I turned to Matt Ryan and I was like, wait a minute, we've been here an hour at early bird. This place looks like it's open. We're officially open. And Matt's like, Matt already got his first commissioned artwork
Yeah,
piece.
so many things, not like the bigger item things that people purchased from him that he was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was great.
It's nonstop. Seems like.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. You know, I think still people are probably hesitant to spend a lot of money, but I think people are willing to come out and at least check it out. I know there's a lot of newcomers that came to the show. And we helped push the next show, and a lot of people were like, I've never been to this. When do you guys do it? You know, like, so it was great to see new faces. And I don't know. I'm very proud that we got the word out this one and we had a great turnout.
Yeah.
I was just very happy.
Next one's not until June. So
yeah, our next one at Enfield will be in June. The next show is this Sunday. And it was great. Our friend Rocky came out. John Francia came out. Bobby came out with the kids. John came out with his kid. The funny part is I kind of wish John and his son showed up with Bobby and his daughter and son, because each of their sons one got Godzilla and one got
the other one got King Kong, so they could be like
I found it to be very humorous.
Yeah,
and they missed each other for maybe like a 40-minute window.
Not even. Probably less than that.
They would have ran into each other. So yeah, it was great. And this next show is great for kids too. Bring your kid, you get him for free. And the cosplay contest, it's very popular, and you get a nice prize. I don't want to say what it is because I don't know what it is, but you get a good prize. So it's a decent
prize, so it's worth the trip no matter what. But the show this past Sunday was awesome. It was great. Scott was very pleased with it. He's also got some big things in the works that he's working on. So all these shows, hopefully stepping it up, getting a little bit more popular, a little bit more interested in them. And it's good to see. It's good to see. It's a good time.
Good time. Other than that, Marcus, how was your week?
It was good. It was a busy week. A lot of work stuff going on. Working on a video with the Trauma Museum, the folks over at the Trauma Museum there, who are also open every Saturday, and they're doing crafts for kids at their place. So you should check that out as well. The Trauma Museum is just fun, and they got a bunch of fun stuff going on. They got the Express coming soon, where you get to go and look for Easter eggs and meet the Easter Bunny. So a whole bunch of stuff there. Did that Monday, and then the rest of the week just kind of just catching up on stuff. A lot of work stuff, catching up on things, and getting ready for Mandalorian,
which comes out tomorrow. Wow, very exciting. Mando. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to have Mando and The Last of Us, Pedro Pascal in our lives twice.
Yes. Claire and I started watching because he was on Jimmy Fallon to promote the new season. We started watching Party Down on the streaming. I can't remember which one it was. I think it's on Hulu that we're watching it. So we started watching the Party Down. We got through season 1 already. They're quick.
See, the new season of Party Down is on Showtime or Stars. I think it's a Stars.
Stars, yeah.
I
think it's also on Hulu.
Not the new season though. I think the new season's gonna be on Stars. Is it the Stars? Maybe, I don't know. When
first 2 seasons are on Stars too, but I think it's also on Hulu.
So I started watching that show years ago, and I stopped watching it, and then we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I don't know why I stopped watching it if I wasn't into it, but I'm gonna give it another shot. And I looked because you can see how I watched all season 1 and half of season 2, and I still don't know why I stopped. So I'm going to go back from the beginning myself. It's on my list of shows.
Yeah.
And I love the
Well,
whole
he was on
cast.
Jimmy Fallon and they talked about that. And he's like, Jimmy was like, oh, this show is like got to be so popular on streaming. Like, why do you like what happened with the show or something? He's like, yeah, the first season we were good, second season we sucked, so we got canceled. So
Now, why was Pedro Pascal talking about Party Now?
no, Adam Scott, I said.
Oh, I don't think I heard you say Adam Scott. Oh, Adam Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it because it's on Stars. I
Yeah.
mean, you can have a great show just on a bad network. Like
Also, Stars when that came out was not very popular.
it's still not popular.
I know, but it was like one of the first like Stars shows.
Star Originals.
Yeah, I remember it was around that same time. Like Kelsey Grammer had a show on there. That was like some weird mare show or something. But yeah, it was. I remember.
How are you liking it?
We liked the first season. Lizzie Kaplan's on it, so there's a selling point.
Yeah, she's great.
Claire likes her. She's in that Fleischman show, the Hulu. So she likes that, and that's what kind of is to it. I like Adam Scott from Parks and Rec, and then I just watched Severance not long ago. So
yeah,
we like it. And Jane Lynch is definitely the breakout of that show.
Oh yeah, this is like her first. This is before Glee.
Yeah, you could tell like the second season she's not in it because she got Glee. So
I'm Googling it, and I think season 3 is only on Stars right now.
Oh, okay.
Because it started already. It started back in February.
Yeah.
February 24th was the first episode.
This past Friday.
Yeah. And I don't remember seeing episode 3, season 3 listed on Hulu. So maybe it'll come to Hulu.
The Stars thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we started watching that. And then the new season of the F1 show dropped on Netflix. I love that. That's awesome. If you're any bit into auto racing or even just like awesome television, like well shot documentary type television, that's a good show to get into. It's on the Netflix Drive to Survive. It's like literally increased viewership of the sport in the United States. I think like by some crazy percentage, like over 200%. The viewership has risen because of this show. So that's not an accurate number, just a number I'm throwing out there. But yeah, so watching that, and then watching Last of Us, which we'll talk about, and then Mando coming tomorrow. I keep saying it because I'm very excited for it to return. And that's about it. I really didn't watch much else. I was thinking about it. I really haven't.
Well,
it's that weird time of year where there's not much going on, so you don't really not much to watch.
I have a few things I haven't mentioned in the last couple of weeks. I started watching Abbott Elementary. The show is really good.
I got Claire into watching that with me. I've been watching it, and then I grabbed her. She saw the something. Oh, the one of the girls was on the Super Bowl. Did one of the anthems. And then Claire just happened to like the Valentine's episode was all over Instagram or some social media thing. So she watched that episode and now she's watched it with me.
Yeah, I'm like 5 episodes or 6 episodes in the first season.
Yeah.
It's definitely got its stride. I just watched the episode where they were gonna have the gifted classroom. I found really good. And the whole time I'm like, Greg, the substitute teacher, he looks so familiar. Who the hell is he? Oh, that's everybody hates Chris.
Yes.
I had no idea. But he looks so familiar, but he was a kid for that show. Great show. I mean, the only reason because I don't have cable, I knew it existed, but it won all those awards at the Emmys.
Yeah.
And then it just won a bunch of awards during the SAG Awards this past weekend.
Yeah.
But fantastic show. It like really fits in the same vein as of The Office or Park and Rec. But it's inner city school, and there's a film crew documenting their day. but yeah, I really love it. It's a great show, and Allison and me are just like engrossed and in love with Buffy. We can't get enough. We're almost done with season 3, and then this is how nerdy I am. I looked online. How do we watch Angel and Buffy? What's the proper way? Well, someone actually has a blog. They
I
posted
bet. I
the
bet they do.
proper way of watching Angel and Buffy.
Not watch either one of them. Oh, no, sorry.
No. Oh, we are excited. So we're gonna follow the guide and watch Angel and Buffy together. I absolutely love the show.
You know what I think should happen?
What?
A Twin Peaks Unwrapped version of the Buffy show with you and Allison talking about Buffy.
No, we talk about Buffy a lot. We don't need to record it, but
It's just about the same amount of time frame as that show came out. It's perfect. It would be perfect in line because no one at this time and day would have much to care about Buffy except a select few amount of people. So
yeah, I mean, it's a great show.
there's a weird cast of characters that you can get, a bunch of character actors that are on there that you probably can get to come on as guests. So
yeah, I know. I'm just it's just so fun to just
watch
it.
But there's your trick. We talked about this on Sunday, the 90s con. If you start a podcast now about Buffy, you can put yourself in as a media person and go to that for free and then interview the people.
No, I don't want to meet my heroes. I don't want to meet anybody. I just want to enjoy it. It's fun. Just we have our conversations about it. We talk, Allison's a little bit more critical. And I'm a little bit more like, oh, it's
whimsical and like everything. I don't know where that ever came from.
Well, it's great because we look at it with two different lenses. She really enjoys the love triangles and the character building, but she's not a big fan of the Monster of the Week. I, on the other hand, love the Monster of the Week episodes.
Yes.
But they're great. I think they really twist them enough to make it very fun and interesting. And yeah. And then we watched Last of Us last night, and oh my god, I got lots to say about that.
Yeah.
What else? Honestly, what was the big news that broke over the week? Not much. Our Quantum, we did our Ant-Man review last week. We got Mandalorian coming out.
Apologize for the technical difficulties with that. It is what happens when you film a show and then head to work, then plan on editing the show while you're at work, and then edit the show at work and have it ready to put up and thought you had posted the show and then totally forget about it thinking you'd done it until Sunday when your partner in crime finally asked you, hey, what happened to that show?
I know, right?
Huh? So that's why it came out Sunday night or yesterday or whenever it got posted. So life happens.
It happens.
At least I didn't post the same show twice.
Yeah.
Like other people have.
I did that once. We all make mistakes. Oh, we got to say a big shout out to Eddie from the Batcave. He showed up.
Yes, we saw Eddie from the Batcave there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It was quite the who's who of people that showed up at the show there.
Seriously, it was a great turnout. This Manchester hasn't disappointed yet. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but it's been a rock solid show. All the ones Andrew's had so far. So
yeah, so it's pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Anything? Trying to figure out.
We could jump into The Last of Us. It doesn't have to be a long show today, Marcus.
Hogwarts Legacy is taking over the world.
Hogwarts
Legacy. It's such a big game that it's actually my sisters were discussing with me. We went out to breakfast on Friday for my dad's birthday. His first one since he passed. So we all went out to the breakfast together as like a memorial thing to him. And they actually are very excited. They want to buy a video game system. So we're picking my brain about what video game system they should get so they can play Hogwarts Legacy on it. So.
Wow.
The game is taking over, I guess. I guess it's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, so I don't have any connection to it whatsoever.
I have no. I know nothing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. The Harry Potter stuff was not in our age. I mean, it came out like 10 years.
It came out after us. Yeah, it was like
10 years. I was like in my 20s, going to my. Well, when the movies came out, we were in our 20s. The books came out like for kids. We weren't, we were in our 20s, so it had no. It didn't click with me at all, and nor I'm not saying the movies are bad or anything. I have no interest. It's and I'm open if I'm open to anything. If say if it was on and I happened to stumble upon it and I caught it and it made me like, I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I'm not going to purposely put it on. I have no interest in purposely sitting down and be like, I'm going to watch a Harry Potter movie. And for all the people into Harry Potter, that's awesome. It's sort of like that generation Star Wars, really. So, but yeah. Well, I mean, now the Xbox and PS5s are all readily available. You can pull one off the shelf.
Get it from anywhere.
So you can easily find something, whatever they like, just get it and they can play it. It's not on the Switch, so I know Josh has a Switch.
That's what they play. That's what Mariah plays Fortnite on, is the Switch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think the Switch is powerful enough to handle.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. But hey, in other news, unfortunately, some sad news. Bernie Mattinson, he was a Disney animator, director, producer, story artist, and the longest serving cast member in the history of Walt Disney, passed away at the age of 87. The only reason why I'm bringing this up, first off, it's amazing that this guy was still working for Walt Disney Company. He was set to receive his 70th anniversary service award on June 4th. Would have been the first one given out by the company. But this guy literally had spanned a generation of movies that we've all probably seen, or if we had younger siblings or younger relatives, have all loved and enjoyed. His many credits included, he was the director of one of my favorite Disney movies growing up, that my dad also loved immensely, Mickey's Christmas Carol. He was producer and co-director for The Great Mouse Detective. He was an artist on Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatians, The Sword and the Stone, Jungle Book, The Rescuers, Big Hero 6, Strange World, which just came out like last year, and a bunch more. He also was a member of the story team on Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan, and Mulan. Additionally, he was the story supervisor of 2011's Winnie the Pooh and helped on the 2007 Goofy short, How to Hook Up Your Home Theater. So, he passed away at 87 yesterday. And that's crazy that he was still a full-time employee at Disney and was still working all the way up to his passing yesterday. He was a story consultant and was helping produce and work on all the stuff that you've seen from Disney over the past 70 some odd years.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, just a little tidbit there for you. Just talking with Matt on Sunday during the show about like we saw some of the artists that people don't even know are who they are really.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a diehard, you don't really know. Like Jerry Ordway was walking around the show on Sunday, who still works on comics, but was like an artist on Superman, Batman, a bunch of DC stuff. Jim Taylor was walking around.
Jim Taylor showed up near the end, and I said hi, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
Even though I was messaging him on Facebook telling him about the show.
Yeah. So he showed up, and there's like a bunch of other artists that Matt pointed out, or Matt talked to a couple people, and it's just kind of crazy. Like there's those artists that you just don't know who they are because you don't ever see them because they're not like out promoted about who they are.
Right.
But they've shaped your whole life basically. Like those people have worked on stuff that you've still watched to this day or still fans of from years and years. And probably some of your favorite comic books and other things were drawn by these people, and they don't get the recognition that they probably deserve. They don't have the popularity that they should deserve. But yeah, so shout out to Bernie Madison on a long career and a long life, and you'll be missed. We now return you to your usual goofiness.
All right, Mark.
Speaking of people we won't see anymore, The Last of Us.
This week's Last of Us, I knew they were going to be doing this in the game. This was DLC that came out like 2 years after the game came out.
Okay, I was gonna ask that because I don't remember this being in. I don't know if I was wondering if this was in the game at all because it seems like a weird place to kind of just like do a jump like that.
So this was DLC that came out that told the backstory of Ellie, and it took place in the story of her protecting Joel when he's out. And they did a fantastic job of weaving that in the show. And I had a feeling this is where they were going to be going, and I think the actress who played Riley was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the mall stuff in the game. It's just like that. You get to do all those things, and I love the Mortal Kombat 2 stuff. In the game, they didn't have the rights to Mortal Kombat 2. It was a video game based off the comic book she was reading, which is a made-up comic book they created for the game. And they didn't have power. The arcade didn't work. So Riley makes Ellie close her eyes and use her imagination. And actually, in the game, you actually see her imagination playing the game, which is a lot of fun. But obviously, TV show, you can't do that. But man, great show. A great adaptation of so far. The next 2 episodes, man, you're going to be in for a treat. They're going to be nuts. And like, it was a great way to really we got to see the fact that Ellie mentioned how she did have to kill someone. Well, now we know the person she had to kill. And I'm glad they didn't show that. They didn't need to show it. We got what we needed out of that story without really making it even more bleak. And the fact that that Joel is that person in her life that she loves, and she's not going to just leave him. Like, Joel is like, just go to Tommy, just leave me. He could die. She goes to get Tommy. By the time you get back, you could be dead. So I loved.
Well, because they said in the previous episode that they've like 5-day ride.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where they are. So if you were to go to Tommy, it's going to be a 10 days turnaround. Yeah. You can be dead for at least 6 days by then or more.
Right. So I loved how they used that for Ellie to be like, I'm not gonna give up. I didn't give up on Riley, and I'm not gonna give up on Joel. So I thought it was wonderfully done. Like, it's interesting how the 3rd episode in, we had a different love story, and now we're 3 episodes. This is the 3rd episode till the end, and we have a different love story. And that's what the show is about. It's about love. That's a whole theme of the theme of season 1 is love. And the theme of part 2, season 2, is going to be a little bit darker. But so yeah, you're in for a treat. Next 2 episodes, man. This show has just been my favorite thing every week. I look forward to it, and yeah, it was great. I mean, I know you watched it during the daytime. I don't think it's a show you need to watch in the daytime, really.
I don't take any chances. I like being able to sleep. I don't have to worry about it. I gotta watch other stuff later on, and I don't remember. Doesn't like it's not fresh in my memory. When I go to bed, I don't have zombie nightmares like I used to have when I watched Walking Dead back in the day. So I like this plan. I like this plan I'm using, and I'm going to keep doing it.
All right,
Yeah, the girl who played Riley was fantastic. If you thought, hey, she looks familiar, where have I seen her before? She was Idris Elba's daughter in Suicide Squad.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes, that's where you recognize her from.
Oh,
So I was like, God, she looks familiar. I've seen her in something. I don't know what it is. But I looked it up just now, and I confirmed she was the daughter of Bloodsport in Suicide Squad.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But she's also on Euphoria on HBO. So it's an easy pull for them to get her to come onto the show, probably, because they didn't have to do much.
well, you got to find a talented younger
Yeah.
actress.
She's been a bunch of stuff. She was in 12 Years a Slave. She's been in a bunch of movies and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, that's the connection that we would know. But yeah, so it was a great episode. It was interesting because it was also not only was it nostalgic for Ellie kind of to have this memory, but it was also like a nostalgic thing, like, oh hey, remember like just 20 years ago there was malls that people went to and shopped at.
Well, it wasn't
These were some of the story.
nostalgia.
Well, no,
Ellie's
but I
never
mean,
been
like
to
for
a
the
mall before. That was
well,
the
no,
first time.
but for the
It wasn't no. She was thinking. I would say she has no nostalgia toward.
no, I
the
know
mall.
her. It was like the nostalgia that she was like her nostalgic memory of what happened to her and losing Riley goes with her possibly losing Joel.
Right.
But I'm saying it was just kind of that weird nostalgic like memory thing of us for the audience to be like, hey, here's things that were in malls in 2003. And that people's weird thought process in the apocalypse was let's ransack Foot Locker and take all the shoes, but leave all the soap that's right behind you. Stuff that you will need when the world collapses is just sitting there free to take and no one touched. Or Victoria's Secret, which no one touched. So
yeah, which is true. Which is true. You know, people are gonna go for what they want.
Yeah.
I love how in the arcade she broke the quarter machine a day early, so they had quarters. But yeah, it was a fun trip. Whoever does, I mean, you can tell the money they poured into the show because that set was fantastic. The carousel.
I hate to say it, but it was probably just a mall that they found.
Well, no, they had the set designer on there. It wasn't a real mall.
I didn't see the after. I didn't stay for the after episode thing because we started filming that.
They built it. They built that whole thing.
It seems like a waste of like you could easily find a mall.
No,
that no one's using.
Not like that. Because that looked like the mall in the game. That's how great. That's how like when you play the game. That's exactly what. It's pretty close to what it looks like.
Okay.
Like the last episode with the cul-de-sac and with the everything that they built that. They're like, oh, they out scouted and looked for something, but they couldn't.
Well, they actually found a town that they used
built that,
but they used like the main area, the main street part.
Oh, Jackson is different.
Town.
Yes, yeah. But I'm talking about
downtown.
The cul-de-sac.
And then they built the whole town around the actual town.
The cul-de-sac,
like a town in Colorado that they found
with the truck coming down. That whole area was built. They built that. Yeah. Jackson inside the wall is partially built and partially already there. You know, movie magic. But man.
Speaking about the last episode, we didn't really get deep into last week because we had Quantumania to talk about.
We talked about it. We ended the show.
We didn't go like but we didn't. I don't know. Did we mention that the girl that Tommy's with is the girl from True Blood?
Oh, we didn't mention that, but that's I said to Allison, I go, why does she look familiar? And she goes, she's from True Blood. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
She's so good. I totally
Yeah.
forgot she was in True Blood.
Yeah.
It's
She gets turned
crazy.
into a vampire in True Blood.
She looks the same. She looks like she hasn't aged.
I know. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
True Blood? That was a long time ago.
I mean,
that's a long time ago, Mark.
Like maybe 10 years, maybe.
That's a long time.
If that. I'd say less than 10 years.
No. Let's look up, when did True Blood end?
I'm looking it up. I'm IMDbing it right now as we speak.
Because True Blood was a long time ago, even though it doesn't feel like it.
2008 to 2014.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Literally ended almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy that show went on for that long.
It went on too many seasons. I think
it went on way too many seasons.
It could have ended earlier. Yeah,
it could have been. It definitely could have done like shows nowadays, like a 3-season arc.
It could have ended in 5. I don't think it needed to go to 7.
No need for it to go.
Yeah, she played Tara.
Yeah,
Tara. Man, crazy. Nobody said it like that. That was like Sookie. That's how Bill Compton.
It's even more. Sookie.
Anyway. Anyway, for me, in this show, the episode for me was amazing. I'm excited for the next 2, and the Mandalorian starts this Wednesday. What do you? I mean, I know
tomorrow.
I'm
very curious, and this is probably a deeper conversation to have probably some other time.
Well, why not have it now?
If how they deal with the Cara Dune situation.
Why? She's gone. You don't have to do it.
Well, she's still technically a character in the show.
But she's never coming back.
Well, but that's the thing I'm saying is, like, do they recast the character?
No. I don't.
They just like disavow her, kind of, and she just never gets mentioned again.
She was like in 1 episode in season 2, and
she was in the most biggest episode of season 2. She was in that whole story of the team up going to the thing to get Grogu back.
Wasn't that episode? That was season 1.
That was in a season 2.
No, it was. She was a part of season 1 big time.
Yes.
Season 2, she was like in 1 episode.
That's right. She was the leader of the squadron there. She was like the marshal or whatever.
Yeah.
She's on that planet, but she was. There's a possibility.
No, and then
it was just kind of interesting to see how that goes, because that was like going to be a big thing, a big part of it.
And then Book of Boba Fett gave us the continuation of Mandalorian. So season 3 has nothing to do with her. She has no weight. I don't think she's a character that has any importance to anything. Well, she never has to show up again, and nobody will care.
Well, here's a big thing for you, Brian, because I just happened to pop up the IGN, and they have an article about it. Ironically enough, the Mandalorian execs explain how Gina Carano's departure affected season 3. Dave Filoni and Rick Fumiyawa have opened up about the importance of Cara Dune in The Mandalorian and how her lingering presence will be handled in the wake of Gina's forced departure from the show.
Well, there you go.
Cara was a big part and continues as a character to be a part of the world. It had to be addressed in the creative, and John took the time to think about that. He directed Fumiyawa directed episodes 1, 7, and 8 of the upcoming 3rd season. It was something that was discussed, as we knew it was going to have impact on the show, but at the same time, what has been at the heart of the show are the 2 characters, Din and Grogu. So ultimately, it felt like a servicing of that and around the Mandalorians. Filoni also emphasized the importance of Dune to the development of Pedro Pascal's protagonist, but noted that there are a multitude of characters fighting for their screen time. Now season 3 is mainly dealing with the Mandalorians and the Mandalorian saga, the Mandalorian tale, commented Filoni. There are different characters he's met since Bo-Katan who take a lot more prominence, which makes sense. They're where his arc is going in story for him and Grogu specifically. When asked whether the fans requested that Dune return to the series, Filoni responded, "I get requests across the board for all types of characters. The hardest thing is finding time and space for everyone out there." So, and he goes into how George Lucas used to talk about when he was making the prequels, he had so many great characters and they all wanted screen time. How do you do it? And when your job is to tell the story of Anakin Skywalker only, basically. So yeah, they kind of just kicked the ball down the field, kind of.
Well, it's weird they're thinking about it because I don't think about that character at all. When she was gone, she was gone. I never really thought she has any weight to the story at large.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, have you?
They kind of just left it with that leaves the showrunners with the option of either recasting Cara Dune or simply leaving the character to linger on in purgatory, basically. So they kind of don't really address it. They kind of just like, well, if it's an ink, if it somehow becomes like there's a part of the story where they like need her to be in it, I think they'll just recast it.
Right. Or you can have a different character too.
Yeah, you can just invent a different character that's similar.
Yeah. And you could just say her character died or her character is busy and we had to send in the troops.
Well, that was the one thing that they, like you were saying, they kind of sort of did that. Now I'm rethinking how I remember everything because it's been a while since we've seen Mandalorian. Yeah, they kind of just like left her on that planet as like the marshal of whatever area that she was in.
Yeah, that was it.
And they could just kind of just leave it at that. Like she's off marshaling and she's not a part of any more team ups that we do.
Right.
Because they've introduced so many newer characters like Ahsoka and all these other characters, Luke Skywalker, that they could pull from.
Will we get another Luke Skywalker appearance this season? I mean, now that Grogu is back with Mando.
I don't think so.
There's been rumors.
I think there's a better chance of an Ahsoka appearance.
Because she has a show coming out this fall. Am I correct on that?
You kind of have to set that up a tiny bit. But I don't think there's any reason, like, unless something comes about. Because like everything's leading to with all the promotional stuff and everything, this is basically like they're going to be very heavily focused on Mandalore and the Darksaber and that whole storyline of how the Darksaber, and the Mandalore and reestablishing Mandalore and all that.
Because we know he's not part of the guild anymore.
Yeah.
But
then again, it doesn't make any sense either because neither is Bo-Katan's taken her helmet off multiple times, and she's now in charge of the whole Mandalorian planet. Like she's in charge of Mandalore basically. So there's like, how does that all work?
We're gonna find out. We have to find out the context of the sword. Is he have to fight for it?
He has it, so he's technically the leader of Mandalore.
Yeah, but remember they didn't address.
Bo-Katan's gonna want it.
Yes, they didn't address that during Book of Boba Fett.
No.
So that might be addressed.
Yeah.
That's going to be addressed because it's something that's lingering. So I think it's establishing that now Mando is kind of a lone wolf.
Do we get Boba Fett?
No. I'm over Boba Fett. Boba Fett. No. No. Who cares?
The whole story is happening on Mandalore.
Who cares?
He's a Mandalorian.
I think Boba Fett might have a cameo But
That's what I'm talking about. I don't think he's gonna be a big character in it, but I
I
think he could.
I know we have different opinions of Boba Fett, but that show killed Boba Fett for me. The moment Mando showed up, that's when the show got better. Mando is, in my opinion, my imagination was what Boba Fett used to be, and then they made Boba Fett just kind of a weenie. So
I
I
don't
don't
think they
care.
did though. I think that's your weird interpretation of it. I think they showed that that Boba Fett never really had a home, and then
They ruined the
found
mystery of him for me.
found Tatooine to be the home. But I
I know.
mean,
I don't care about his character anymore. I just
yeah,
want Mando. Like
yeah,
the moment Mando came in and kicked ass, I was like, that's what we want from Boba Fett. We want him to kick ass, but he's just walking around like trying to be a godfather
yeah,
and like has his helmet off, and it was just kind of weird.
yeah,
Listen, it's fine. We have different opinions about it. It wasn't my favorite.
yeah.
I think you're right. I think he could have a cameo, but it's not going to be the main focus. I
No,
like to
no,
see
no,
the
no.
planet hopping.
Yeah,
There's a bigger story at play here.
yeah. I don't
I
think it's gonna be much planet hopping. I think it's gonna be very much on Mandalore. A lot of Mandalore.
I don't know. The
A
last
lot of
2 seasons, a lot of
Mandalorians
planet
flying
hopping.
around.
There's always been planet hopping. There's only
Yeah, I don't
so
think it's
long he
gonna
can
be this
stay in
one
one
though.
place, though.
But this one, I think Mandalore is the story this time. I think it's all going to be the Mandalorians and the fight for the planet and Bo-Katan turning to a darker character,
Will we see
wanting to be in charge of
Thrawn?
everything. Oof. I
There was
think they're going to save that for Ahsoka.
well, Thrawn was mentioned
I think you
in
might get inklings of him and like the possibility of him being around, but I don't think you're going to see him in person. I mean, it is Mandalorian. And these shows have always like even Book of Boba Fett are great at dropping like big character reveals like Black Kiristan and Cad Bane, which makes Book of Boba Fett one of my favorite shows just because Cad Bane was in it. So
yeah.
that's a great character that they don't think they were fleshed out until recently.
And
So
then they killed him. He died too.
he does die in this. Yeah, yeah. He died in
Yeah.
that, yeah.
There is a rumor. I don't. Have this with a grain of salt, but the rumor that Benedict Cumberbatch was going to be could be playing General Admiral Thrawn. That's a rumor. I think it's because people think he looks like him.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it's.
I don't think it's going to be him either. I think they're gonna. I think people are looking at too popular of a person.
Yeah, I think it's going to be someone.
It seems like besides Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka, they've gone more to the character actor type. I mean, Timothy Olyphant was in it too, so I mean, it's like you can't but I would think of someone in that vein, like a second, like not a second tier, but like a supporting actor type actor
Yeah.
that's going to get elevated to a lead character
Well,
type.
I think Thrawn. I think is going to be an over, like a force like Darth Vader. He'll be mentioned, but we won't see him.
He's gonna be like the Thanos from the Marvel universe. He's gonna be like the overarching villain that is like the big villain that is they're building up to.
Moff Gideon's
gonna be like the surface level villain that's gonna be out there.
Yeah, Moff Gideon. Now I'm looking at.
He's been turned over to the Republic or whatever it's called now. So
he is listed in season 3. I don't know.
Oh yeah. But I mean, he was captured. So
now Christopher Lloyd is supposed to be in season 3. I don't know who he's playing. They don't say.
Yes, I've heard this. He was going to be in it.
He's on the cast list on IMDb, which I'm looking at right now. There's no name attached to him like everybody else, so he's going to be.
Oh, but he's a droid. He'd be a great droid.
I don't know. We'll find out. I like when IMDb
alien of some sort.
doesn't give us the clue. I like it.
Yes.
And you're
Yeah.
just like, ooh, interesting. Who's
Yeah, if he was an alien of some sort, that'd be a good one.
And there's also rumors that potentially there's an actor playing Luke Skywalker, but I kind of feel like they're going to do the same thing they did last time, where they'll
He's
have
gonna be
someone come in,
de-aged. Yeah, the
de-age.
de-aged. It's the same guy who did it last time
Yeah. So there
for
is going to
Book of Boba
be
Fett and everything.
3, 4, 5. There's going to be 8 episodes. This is going to take till
Yes.
April 19th.
Yes.
The first episode is actually, people already found out it's going to be less than 40 minutes,
Yes.
which is fine.
There is a character in the season in the thing. Let's see here.
We're so quiet.
Yeah, I was just looking at something and I lost it on my phone. I had a thing here of who is like your list of actors.
Well, there's not much listed right now because they're keeping things hush hush, other than Christopher Lloyd, which I had no idea about.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. We'll be talking about this next week on Monday. I believe I want to check my schedule, but I think we'll be recording on Monday.
Yes.
So I'm excited. Are you gonna be one of those people who stays up till midnight and watch it at midnight? Or
It
no?
doesn't come on at midnight. That's the thing.
Oh, so you have to watch. I might watch it first thing in the. No, I gotta work in the morning. I'll probably watch it first thing when I get home tomorrow. That's
It's
a
also listed
shame.
as a too.
Huh?
Tim Meadows is also listed as an actor in it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll probably watch it tomorrow morning when I wake up. As I'm having breakfast, I'll watch it.
The life of Mark Warnock, working from home.
Well, no, even if I wasn't working from home, I would do that. I'd wake up, watch it as I eat breakfast, and
I mean, I might watch it when I have my morning coffee. I got
that's
an
what I'm talking
hour.
about. Yeah.
I got an hour before I got to go to work.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Ooh,
I usually do it in that time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I have that time that I can do it, so I could fit it in to my routine.
Oh man, I'm excited, Mark. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. All right, we should wrap up the show. We should wrap it up. Before we go, yet again I want to promote Manchester Comic and Toy Convention this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4. Wait, I just realized it ends at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Usually ends at 3 p.m.
Yes. Well, that's all their shows. This one goes an extra hour later.
Yes, this is the 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission to $5. Kids under 10 or get them for free. Army and Navy Club, 1090 Main Street, Manchester, Connecticut. Toys, comics, and cosplay.
Yes. And the one cool thing about this show is you can order your tickets ahead of time.
Yes.
Through the Facebook page on their website. You can pay for your tickets, and you just show up and walk right in. You don't have to wait in line with all the common folk.
Yeah. Yeah. You just walk right in. Like, I paid.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm already paid. Here's my ticket.
Here's my tickets on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So we will see you there. I'm excited.
Brian will be there with his booth. He'll be selling. What do you got this week, Brian? What do you got? What are some of your hot ticket items that people can be looking for?
Well, I mean, I will have I sold a decent amount of comics, so I actually have a bunch of comics I can add to it. So I'll have new comics. I might have some new toys that, like, I didn't really have much. A lot of my toys I'm going to do half off this show because I really wanted to sell. So, so I'll have more toys at this show than I did at this past Sunday, and I'll have new comics because I did sell quite a few. So I'll have some new
Stop
stuff.
by Brian's booth and check it out.
Yeah. Poop. I had something to say, but I forgot. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll be back next week. We'll be talking about how the show went and Mando and The Last of Us and anything that happens in between.
Yeah. Stay tuned for all that and more. And we'll see you all next week. And as always, be safe, be well, be kind.
And rewind.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.